To quote the great Al Pacino, just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Yes, here we are, folks, talking about Trey Hendrickson once again here, and potentially for the Indianapolis Colts, a fresh opportunity here for them to potentially land the star pass rusher, the sack champion from 2024. And I want to kind of talk about this because we've been hearing all offseason about the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson, nowhere close on a deal, right? We've been hearing all this stuff. And then some people are saying, okay, he's going to come to camp now. They're going to get things figured out. And, they're going to come together and find a contract, right? And so, we thought all that was going to happen. We thought a deal was maybe going to happen at some point during training camp. But here we are. And according to Jordan Schultz, as he's talking about it, he said they've really just hit what he calls a wall right now in terms of the talks right now. They can't come together on a deal. He said there was some thought that maybe Hendrickson reporting to camp would move things forward, but the contract issues have stayed the same. They remain unresolved. And so Ian Rappaport says, according to him and Tom Pelissero, with contract talks at an impasse, the Bengals are listening to trade offers for Pro Bowler Trey Hendrickson. He said it's unclear if the sack leader will be playing elsewhere in 2025, and a trade will be a real challenge, but time will tell. Jordan Schultz also added some teams in there that have expressed interest on Trey Hendrickson. Those three teams being the Carolina Panthers, the Cleveland Browns, and the Indianapolis Colts were one of three teams that he did name there. And obviously, with the Cincinnati Bengals also being in the AFC North with the Cleveland Browns, he said a division and in-state trade is highly likely, and any deal will be tough regardless. Cincinnati is believed to want an impact player or two, plus a draft pick in return. So, yeah, it definitely seems like there still is some life here, believe it or not, to the Trey Hendrickson, to the Indianapolis Colts potential. Now, obviously, like they said, it's going to be difficult to figure out this trade, but it just does seem like right now, it seems more and more likely as we kind of hear this stuff, it's less and less likely that Trey Hendrickson is going to be a Cincinnati Bengal. Just from what these people are saying, talking about how they've hit a wall, how they've reached an impasse, it just seems like the writing's on the wall for Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati. Now, like we said, there's going to be other teams that are going to be vying for Trey Hendrickson, but I think it is definitely worth mentioning that Schultz does talk about the Colts being one of the three teams that he does list, right? And obviously the Browns could be interested, but let's face it, Cincinnati's very likely not going to trade with Cleveland, especially for a player of Trey Hendrickson's caliber. The Carolina Panthers would be the other team that I'd just definitely be curious about there. But the compensation is going to be interesting. And I think for me at this point, really anything outside of the first round pick in terms of draft capital is fine with me. I just, especially if, crap hits the fan next year for whatever reason, and, the Colts are picking within the top 5, you'd like to have that pick. Especially. So if you can get away without giving a first round pick, that would definitely be big. The contract's one thing, and also the age is another thing. Hendrickson is, right there at 30 years old. So, he's getting a little bit up there in age as well. So there's all those things in regards to Trey Hendrickson. So, but yeah, guys, it really still is a reality, which is crazy. I never thought I'd be saying this here on August 17th, that the Colts still could be in the Trey Hendrickson sweepstakes. Again, there's a lot of things that have to happen in order to make this work, but if the Colts continue to remain interested in Trey Hendrickson, there still is the opportunity for them if that's something they want to do. They want to reunite Lou Anarumo with Trey Hendrickson and see if they can continue the success they've had the last couple years from Trey Hendrickson's standpoint. So we'll have to see on that, guys, but let me know your thoughts here on the Trey Hendrickson stuff. And would you want to see the Indianapolis Colts make a trade for him? If that's the case, what do you want to see them give up? And what are you willing to pay Trey Hendrickson? Just let me know all those things in the comments down below. But, guys, that'll do it for this one. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, guys, go Colts.